Hello, my name is Jessica Horner and I'm going to do a presentation on advertising theory. We are going to look at the journal article Web Commercials and Advertising Hierarchy of Effects, which was written by Gordon C. Bruner and Anand Kumar. We will look at the theory behind this journal article, the summary of the article, the findings of the research, and then the critique of the theory. Advertisers often use the hierarchy of effects theory when analysing advertising effectiveness. The theory is based on the attempt to explain how advertising works and suggests there is a sequential process to the way consumers move from exposure to an advertisement through to making a purchase. There have been several models proposed to explain this theory, one of which is the Robert Lavage and Gary Steiner hierarchy of effects model, which was created in 1961. And as you can see, moves the consumer from awareness through to purchase of a product. The stages are also representative of the psychological process attached to processing an advert. These are cognitive, affective, and conative, also identified as think, feel, do. The article explores this theory and examines whether it is appropriate to apply the traditional models, such as Lavage and Steiner, to internet advertising. The study was conducted in the year 2000 when web advertising was a relatively new concept and experience could not be assumed for everyone. Therefore, it was questioned whether web experience would have an impact on hierarchy of effects. There is a tendency for web pages to be more complex than television, in the sense that there is much more stimuli vying for the viewer's attention, which may be too complex for people with limited experience on the web. In prior research undertaken by Stevenson, and also Gordon Bruner and Anand Kumar, found that web page complexity could have a negative effect on attitude to the ad, therefore affect the web advertising hierarchy of effects. Attitude to the website will also be important in determining advertising effectiveness. Therefore, the three constructs were examined: attitude to the advert, attitude to the website, and web page complexity. The research found that the more a website is liked, the more it helps to improve other variables associated with the hierarchy of effects. Therefore, hypothesis 1 was supported. The research did not provide evidence to support hypothesis 2. Web page complexity did not appear to have the same direct effect that it did in the previous study conducted by Gordon Bruner and Anand Kumar. The article found a significant relationship between web experience and the hierarchy of effects, and that the greater a person's web experience, the more favourable will be their attitudes to the website and also to the advertisement. Therefore, hypothesis 3 was supported. These findings revealed that a more elaborate sequence was happening when consumers were viewing web pages than was tested in the previous study, and allowed for this model to be constructed. The model was then tested and it revealed that in order for hierarchy of effect to be successful, there has to be a positive relationship between web experience, attitude to the website, and complexity. With regards to complexity, attitude to the website was better for those who saw the simplest background. Therefore, the highest level of complexity was associated with the lowest level of attitude to the website. If we look at the Walt Disney website, we can see that when you access the website, there is a banner advert that is displayed at the top of the page, and rich media or video playing in the middle. There is also a floating advert that appears and follows you as you move around the page. For a consumer with limited experience on the web, this could produce a negative attitude to the website and therefore a negative attitude to the advert. This would mean that the hierarchy of effects would not be successful. However, for someone with greater levels of web experience, this website could be seen as interesting, creating positive attitude levels which would allow the consumer to progress through the hierarchy of effects. We can also see the same thing with this website. There has been some critique throughout the years of research over the persuasive hierarchy of effects theory. As stated previously, the hierarchy models are based on the consumers following a particular sequential process: cognitive, affective, and conative. In order for the consumer to move successfully through the model, The order has to be followed in this sequence and no other. It has been argued that the models are too simplistic for the human mind, and in actual fact the process can be much more complex and varied depending on the consumer's individual experience with the advert or the brand. It is logical that a consumer may think about a product, purchase it, and then later develop knowledge and preference for the brand. For example, this could happen in fast-moving consumer goods. In this case, the sequence would be cognitive, conative, and then affective. The models also make an assumption that the consumer has no prior experience of the advert or the brand, and as you can see in Lavage and Steiner's model, starts with awareness. It does not take into consideration that on a daily basis consumers will see thousands of advertisements in different forms of media, some of which may be of the same brand. Following on from this, it can also be said that advertising is not solely responsible for sales, and the models do not take into consideration the other parts of the marketing communications mix. Of course, sometimes advertising may result in sales, but not always. This article has revealed the process that consumers may go through and what variables can influence them while they are experiencing internet adverts. However, the research was conducted in 2000, when the internet was a relatively new concept for consumers and for advertising. Internet usage and therefore web experience have increased enormously. People have become less sensitive to complex websites, are used to navigating the internet, and have learned to ignore irrelevant content. Therefore, it would be unrealistic to assume that all the variables may still be relevant. Complexity may not have the same impact in the present day. Therefore, further studies may need to be conducted to provide an up-to-date analysis and to say whether it is appropriate to apply the traditional models of hierarchy of effect to internet advertising. That is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening.